Believe it or not, Pokémon is not the only popular video game that irate fans have accused Palworld of cloning in some form or another. But taking notes from the best in the biz isn't always a bad thing, as the massive success of Palworld seems to prove.
Wow! Metal Greymon and Metal Mamemon!
Lest we forget, the Digimon franchise has been accused of copying Pokémon on more than one occasion. Ever since its debut, the franchise has been widely seen as an attempt to ride the wave of popularity enjoyed by the Pokémon series, even if that's not entirely true. However, the two media franchises have definitely managed to stand on their own thanks to differing aesthetics and gameplay, and modern gamers have mostly come around to accepting Digimon as its own unique thing. Now, some fans argue that Palworld has more in common with Digimon than with Pokémon. As many have noted, Digimon was also the original franchise to be seen as Pokémon with guns, a moniker which Palworld now proudly bears. To that end, some gamers have compared some of the tougher-looking, heat-packing PAL designs to pre-existing Digimon. The Digimon franchise also tends to have higher stakes for its titular characters, which can die if they don't evolve in time. And even the human characters aren't safe. The initial setup of Palworld, in which the main character wakes up with seemingly no idea how they arrived in this new world, may feel a bit familiar to Digimon fans, as the series has returned to that storytelling device a few times over the years. Palworld may not directly lift from Digimon, much like Digimon wasn't really a Pokémon ripoff, but the ironic parallels are certainly getting the attention of fans. In fact, some enterprising Digimon diehards are already seizing the moment by modding their fave digital monsters into the PC version of Palworld. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild and its direct sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, are two of the most celebrated open-world video games of all time. So why not crib from the very best? That's what some Zelda fans think Palworld is up to, with one of the similarities arriving at the very beginning of the game. One of the first things a player character does upon awakening on the beach is to pick up a nearby tablet. This is the PAL deck, the game's answer to a Pokédex. Its design and functions are also reminiscent of the Sheikah Slate and ProApad devices from the aforementioned Zelda games. Much like those two items, the PAL deck updates every time players find a new location in Palworld. Accompanying these updates are chyrons that appear on the screen to inform the player of this new place's name. Some fans have noted that these titles also look quite like the ones that appear when a new area is discovered in newer Zelda entries. Speaking of getting to new areas, some gamers on social media feel like some of the traversal mechanics, biomes, and menu screens in Palworld feel like something out of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. The game's gliding mechanics have also been compared to both the Zelda series and Fortnite, depending on which franchise you played more. Of course, gliding has become a pretty widespread mechanic in modern gaming, but the character animations and physics really seem to remind gamers of the two aforementioned series. As one Reddit quipped, Palworld is less like Pokémon with guns and more like Elden Ring with pals. There's still a lot we don't know about the realm in which Palworld takes place, but it looks like its ancient architects might have had similar tastes to those in the world of Elden Ring. Players have discovered ruins of what appear to be old churches, which look quite similar to the fallen temples from Elden Ring, especially the ruins in the Church of Marika, as well as dimensional portals similar to that game's Ever Jails. In both Palworld and Elden Ring, these glowing circles transport players to another area to face a tremendously powerful enemy. In fact, a few sections of the map in Palworld look so much like Elden Ring that some have taken to viewing Pocket Pair's game as a loving tribute to From Software's action RPG.
Oh, Elden Ring.
As many gamers have pointed out, Elden Ring and other From Software games have also drawn heavy inspiration from Kentaro Miura's Berserk manga. So it's not like everything in those games was totally brand new. Palworld just carries on the tradition of paying tribute to the fantastic stories that came before it.